Okay. Yep. Ooh, we've got a new cameraman here. Rian's on action here, and Ada's monitoring because we're training for when the others don't, we're not here. Ertan, welcome to Cape Town.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
So come this way, Rian. That's it, boom, just to keep the cable going. You're in Cape Town.
I am, yes.
Yes.
It's a very beautiful place too. I didn't know it was so beautiful.
Yes.
So I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, I can
It's
see
a
you got.
surprise.
Yeah, I can see you got big smiles.
Yeah.
So come on, give us a brief. First of all, we'll talk about the voyage here later, but the decision. What's happened, because you did the 2018 edition and it lasted a week because you missed the family.
Well, if you said to me, Ertan, continue to Hobart, I would have continued.
Yeah.
And I prepared everything and all my notes for the going down. I spoke yesterday to Abhilash, the latitude I was supposed to go and so on. So I made all the plans after you leaving here that it was going to take me next 4 or 5 days to get to 40 latitude. So made all these plans but this morning and when I saw the silhouette of the Cape Town at 3 o'clock, it was a choice of do I want to be sad, upset, and cry for next 5.5 months, and that was a choice of between the two really, whether I wanted to have that in my life another 5.5 months, and it wasn't I have no excuses. The boat is perfect. I have 2 of everything, well provisioned. It's just me really, and it is what it is. You have to accept in life what is being given to you, and I accept this wonderful experience I have had in the 10 weeks, and I had huge discoveries about myself. But really, there is no point going on to something that I am not going to be happy most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to listen to the voices inside.
Yeah. So I know there are people disappointed that I didn't complete it, and they would have liked me to complete it, but there is a very high price you pay mentally for this. I don't really want to return home different than I am.
You may be incredibly surprised at the reaction of people now that you've made this decision. I think you'll be really surprised, because the GGR is a huge challenge. It's an ugly challenge. It's really tough, physically, technically, psychologically, and all that sort of stuff. And that's what the GGR is. So it's a race of attrition, and people, work out themselves and find out who they are, and a lot of this stuff you do for yourself, and then you think, do I need this now? So I can relate to what's going on totally, and I see you really happy this morning.
I was.
So, yeah.
I was very happy, and it was a difficult decision, and the difficulty was that I was going to let down all these people. I was talking to Mike yesterday. He was on his last voyage.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm retiring, this is my last voyage, and you are an inspiration to me, wala, wala, wala. And obviously you feel guilty when you hear these things, because you are an example to others.
This is Mike who?
A ship captain that I was talking yesterday, whom I spoke in Bay of Biscay.
He sent the message,
Yes.
Yeah, he sent the message.
And I spoke to him a couple of months ago. He said, I've been following you and your progress, and this is my last voyage, and then I'm gonna stop doing that. I said, I'm a few years older than you, and you're and all these things, and it's wonderful to hear. And obviously you feel guilty that I am not completing what I started it. But in life I've never saw my experiences as failures when I failed. It's something else you learn about yourself, and really ultimately. That is the thing, is to know what your limitations are, and I'm obviously very grateful to be able to attempt this, and I'm sure I'm gonna attempt stupid things in the future again.
It's not stupid.
Okay.
It's
things
the GGR.
But when Ada asked me a couple of months ago, while we were in Les Abdelot in the boat, he says, "What are you looking forward to?" I'm looking for the unknown. I found the unknown. and if do you remember, to find the unknown, you have to do things that you don't know, the unexpected, and that is the beautiful thing about starting something. You do not know the end of it.
Anyway, Ertan, the extreme loneliness is maybe the most challenging part of that race. So what happened to you is just normal in the Golden Globe race.
To be honest with you, that was the only challenging thing was for me. everything else is, because don't forget, 90% of the time the weather is fantastic. That's when you feel terrible, loneliness. But the 5-10% of the time when there is action, you are happy. You fall asleep and immediately, and there is always something happening, and you are not bored at all. But you get in the tradeway in sailing, you don't even adjust the steering for 3 weeks. The boat just goes. And so you have endless hours of worry, thinking about stupid things. And for some people, they are beautifully suited for that. I mean, I speak to some of the entrants, and I say, what do you do all day, you know, and aren't you going mad? And the answers they come up with quite weird answers they come up with, and they seem to be happy with that, and it's wonderful for them, and I'm so happy for them. But I am me, they are them, and we must all be what we are, you know, and so.
This is a good conclusion for me.
Yeah. And really, I always say that the GGR is what you make of it.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. You know, you get to do something, and it's quite incredible. It's really epic. You've sailed from the Sable d'Olonne all the way down to Cape Town.
It feels like a yesterday now. I mean, it doesn't feel like I've done anything.
Yeah.
Other than sitting in the boat for 10 weeks, because it's somehow.
You did, but anyway, yes.
Somehow that passed really quickly, and the thing about all sailors is that what happens yesterday, if you got 40-50 knot winds, the moment it stops, you forget about it.
Yeah.
So that is that part of it hasn't really been a challenge. It's just been normal.
Yeah.
And I have no complaints about any of that, really. It was just a boredom.
Technical questions. What's the best part about Lazy Otter?
That she has pretty much everything twice. She's got 2 steerings, self-steerings. I have 2 of everything on the boat. Some of them, 3 of them, and really I've had 0 problems with her, and she seems to take everything on her stride, really. And I think she's just a very comfortable. And when the big waves comes, when I had those Southern Ocean type of weather, the big waves comes, these 6-8 meter waves, she just lifts her bottom and off she goes, and after a while it just becomes a norm, you know.
Yeah.
So she's a wonderful boat, and even if you get it wrong, she forgives you for it.
Yeah.
You go to sleep, boat is going the wrong direction, and she goes on her side and she picks up and she says, come on, put me straight, and you go and put her straight, and off she goes again.
Yeah,
so
that's the fun part about Damien. You know, we had a bit of a quiet chat later, and he just loves the boats. He just says there's something special about sailing these types of boats in the ocean. You know, he's a Figaro type sailor, performance. He said, wow, there's some hidden gems in the boats. You know, it's quite cool. So what was the best part about the voyage from the Sable d'Olonne to here?
Well,
don't say stopping in Cape Town.
No. Leaving Les Sable d'Olonne was fabulous.
Yeah.
And I have had a nice chit-chats with some of the entrants during the voyage. That was very nice, and you know, you share things that you wouldn't really share with anything else. And there has been occasions where, and I also met lots of ship captains and amazing kindness.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Do you know the Queen is dead and you have a lot of job to do when we are at home?
I do, yes.
Yes.
Every evening, my favorite pastime from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. BBC.
I got to put context to that. Ertan runs a business which is all military uniforms, medals, you know, royal regalia and stuff. And I hate to tell you this, but Zoo's been working 16, 17-hour days.
She normally does, really, and maybe a couple of hours less. But really, yes, I know she works hard, but you know, she was 101% behind me with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I'm sure she's disappointed as well.
Well, you might be surprised. I reckon a lot of people are going to realise you're very happy now. You've done it. You know, you've done your thing. So yes, it's a retirement from the GGR, but it's your GGR.
It's my GGR.
Absolutely.
I
well done.
It.
Big hug, joint hug.